Let's bring back our guest, Erendira Rendon from the Resurrection Project, Robert Pape from the University of Chicago Project on Security and Threats, and Ed Young of the ACLU. Robert Pape, you heard Governor Pritzker today say that he believes there are plans now to send in a military contingent, some personnel, whether it's National Guard or some other kind of military personnel, about 100 so. What do you think that's going to do to this situation?
I think it will further stir the pot. Let's be realistic. In a city of nearly 3 million people, 100 National Guard or troops is not going to have a whole lot of combat power. That said, 5 years ago, in July 2020 in Portland, we also saw about 250 DHS agents throw themselves directly into these skirmishes that were going on between protesters and then police. And all that did was escalate Portland for weeks until Trump had to pull out because he couldn't just keep that going. It was dramatically counterproductive. And I think that this is the problem with these small shows of force. They're too little to really do much. They're enough to stir the pot. And as you stir the pot, this can be extremely provoking. And this is just simply not good. It's not good for the city of Chicago. And I'd point out, it's not good for Donald Trump because Governor Pritzker will surely lay any escalation at Trump's feet.
And we know that Portland is in the crosshairs again with Trump saying that they are going to send troops there pending whatever legal action takes place, because there is a federal law that says the governor has to sign off on the National Guard except for in these extreme situations. Ere Rendon, do we know, I mean, the DHS has denied this, but do we know that there are U.S. citizens being detained here that are being denied their rights?
Well, there's been several confirmed accounts in Chicago and the suburbs where U.S. citizens have been detained. They will be arrested. They will be put in handcuffed. They will be put in the back of their patrol undercover vehicles. And it is not until that individual is able to prove that even though they are Latino, they are in fact U.S. citizens, that they are let go. That is not disputed. That is fact. And we've also been seeing this happen to legal permanent residents, and then most recently 2 accounts of DACA recipients who have been detained, taken to Broadview. One is processed and still in detention, and one person has been let go.
That brings up an interesting point. Ed Young, you have the Commander Bovino from the Border Patrol saying in the Sun-Times basically that they are targeting people based on how they look.
Yeah.
I mean, once upon a time, we used to all agree that that was profiling and that was illegal, but not
and by the way,
anymore?
It still is. And and the Constitution has not been eliminated because of the election of 2024. Racial profiling is still illegal, full stop. What the commander said in that interview is just horrible. And the idea that someone would be stopped simply because of their race, simply because of the way they look or the language that they speak is just not permissible. And those things will be challenged where they happen, whether it's
by the ACLU?
Well, I think, we're aware of what's happening. There are other groups who are. I think those challenges are going to be brought.
And I have even talking to some folks that are American citizens asking, do I need to walk around with birth papers? That's not something that we'd ever think we'd have to do here.
This is just a crazy conversation we're having because we have an administration that is so out of control and wanting to act as authoritarians. You do not have to answer any questions from these people. You can say you wish to remain silent. You can ask for a lawyer. You don't have to produce those papers. It's just ridiculous that we've come to the point where that's the question that gets asked of people.
All right, Robert Pape, what do you believe is the best thing for local elected officials to do, local police officials to do? Is it to comply? Is it to resist very forcefully, or something in between?
The number one thing to do, so Governor Pritzker is being very, very clear about using the court system. The court system is on the side. He's on the right side with the court system, as we are all saying. The number one thing to do in addition to that is to tell the public, and this is what I would say as Governor Pritzker's motto, resist in the courts, don't take the bait on the street. So this would, if there were these reckless events that I'm describing that could happen, these brawls that could escalate, a grenade that gets thrown and so forth, this will only escalate, especially in the situation post the Kirk assassination. So the way to manage this for the governor is to actually say two things at the same time. Step one, the courts here, the Constitution is on our side. And number two, don't take the bait in the streets.
All right. Very, very quickly, Rendon, we got about 30 seconds. So what are you hearing from community members right now? What is the tenor?
We're terrified. We're in a lot of pain. We don't know if we can go drop off children at school. We don't know when to go to the grocery store. We don't know if it's safe to go to work. And we don't know if it's safe to sell our fruits and vegetables. And yet at the same time, we have absolutely no choice. We have to go to work. We have to take our kids to school. And every single time that we do that, we're risking our entire livelihoods and the being able to come back to your family. There is nothing like it is terror that folks feel, and extreme pain to see families being separated, to see children being arrested, and to see children being pulled away from their parents.
We have to leave the discussion there, but we're going to keep talking about this all week. My thanks to Erendira Rendon, Robert Pape, and Ed Yanka. Thank you so much. And after the break, some new life for TikTok. We'll tell you about it right after.